Rise and shine, mothers and brothers, rise and shine. Let it grow and let it flow. And I'm not talking about the beard today. I'm talking about your wealth. Let it grow and let it flow. So we're going to create some parallels between the beard world and your finances. It's been said that if you take all the money in the world and distribute it evenly amongst all the people in the world, that in 5 years, you're going to have rich people and you're going to have poor people. But that's not the end of this illustration. Let me take it one step further. There's two types of people in this world. There's those that believe that the ones that are poor, after that illustration, are poor because of something that the rich did. And that the rich got rich because they exploited the poor or they exploited others. And that's a mindset. I don't want to deal with that mindset. I don't want those people in my life. I want to hang out with the people who doubled and tripled their money that they got. I don't feel that one person's wealth is because other people became poor. There's enough money in this world to go around, and all you have to do is to create the conditions where it comes to you. And I'm not talking about law of attraction, because I think that's bullshit. I'm talking about the law of action and the law of getting the heck out of the way and letting it flow. In nature, think about this. An apple tree, one little tiny seed planted in the ground, sunshine, warmth, water, nutrients from the earth, and guess what? That apple tree produces, doesn't it? But here's the thing. That apple tree doesn't get a lecture. It doesn't go to college. It doesn't take courses. It doesn't get told to turn off the water, turn off the light when you leave the room. It doesn't say pinch pennies. It doesn't get taught a penny saved is a penny earned. What happens is this. That apple tree, when in full bloom naturally, nature, which we're all part of. Now, I'm a Christian. I'm not a New Age person. I'm not an atheist. So I'm not abandoning anything, and I'm not adding to what I believe is holy and true. But I don't believe that we have to be poor. Now, that apple tree creates an apple or two, right? 1 or 2 apples? No. That apple tree produces more apples than you can eat in a lifetime from one little seed. How in the world does that work? How does that happen? When given the proper conditions, and I have been a backyard farmer for many years, and I've learned how to optimize conditions, optimize soil, knowing watering times, fertilizing, how to plant, when to harvest. When all of those things are optimum, that tree produces more apples than you could ever eat in a lifetime. The mama apple tree or daddy apple tree doesn't tell the baby apple tree, don't work too hard, don't create too much, or work real hard and you'll be able to produce apples. No. What it does is when it gets all the proper nutrients and all the proper conditions that have been created for it, it's going to produce more than you could ever eat in a lifetime. That's called abundance. Let's say if you could eat 3 apples a day. Jim Rohn always said eat 1 apple a day. That's the key to longevity and health. Let's say you could eat 3 apples a day. If you had 10 apples, the other 7 would be an abundance of apples. That is how we were created. As parents, I think we unteach our children the natural process of earning and creating. We were taught that we have to grind. I hate hate with a passion the phrase rise and grind. I hate it. I am so sick and tired of it, because what it does, it pounds that slave mentality into your mind where you gotta grind. It's work, it's sweat. It's sweat and it's opportunity, and it's clearing the junk out. If you don't like what you're doing, Ted Gibson always says this, you're gonna become most successful with what you're good at. I say with what you like, and I'm not a strong believer in do what you love and the money will follow. I think that's bullshit too. Do what makes money and the money will follow. If you happen to like that, all the better. So 2 things will create your wealth: doing what you like, and doing what you're good at. The combination of those 2 things for the army of average makes them unstoppable. Remember, in previous videos I said the army of average, which is me, I am C student, I am Mr. Average, becomes unstoppable when there's a fire lit under me. And sometimes that fire is realizing that you have the world at your hands. Create the proper conditions, and those conditions are a combination of 2 things. You got the people that are the law of attraction types and the positive thinkers. You could sit on your behind and think positive all day long, and you're not going to even attract a mustard sandwich. But thinking positive combined with massive action, that Dan Kennedy taught me, the principle of massive action, makes you unstoppable and turns on the flow of wealth to you, which is just starting to happen to me. And I'll tell you where the positive attitude comes in. For instance, selling door to door as a kid, knocking on doors, knock, 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 knock. Some people come to the door, they see a cute little kid selling fudge or calendars or something for the band or for a sports team or for Boy Scouts. Other people say, I don't want any. Boom, close the door right away. Holy smokes, how demoralizing is that? You just started selling at 8 years old. All you want to do is shovel their driveway, sell them fudge, sell them a calendar, rake their leaves. And they say, I don't want any. Well, okay. So then, with my head hung low and bewildered, I walk down the sidewalk, down the driveway, onto the next house, knock a little more. We don't want any. Boom. Oh my God, this world is tough, isn't it? People are telling me no everywhere I go. Think about it. The second time I knocked, I was kind of like, do you want to buy any fudge? The enthusiasm was gone because of my past experience. Some people say the key to sales or presenting your product and or service is to be as enthusiastic on the 100th knock, on the 100th house, as you were on the first one. So I learned at an early age. When I heard a no, turned around, walked back down the driveway, on the sidewalk. As I started walking towards the next house, I had to lighten up a little bit and smile and be the cute little kid again, because my positivity made it a little more attractive. And people would say, oh, so what are you selling? Tell me what you're selling. Good morning, my name is George, and I'm selling calendars to help you manage your time. Your lawn would look so great with these leaves all bagged up, and you know, it's such hard work, and I'm happy to do it for you. You certainly don't want to get out and shovel your own driveway. I'll do it for you. And I remember when shoveling driveway, you shoveled driveways for literally $5. I raked a woman's lawn, I remember, for $20, and it took me 2 days to do it. It is a mindset combined with action. the apple tree, when given the proper conditions, produces much, much more than anyone can ever imagine. You, with the proper conditions, the proper soil, the proper watering. Now, what would be the human equivalent of all of those horticultural things? Soil would be the environment. You in the proper environment. Watering might be the stuff that you feed on, the nutrients, what you put into your head. The proper environment, the proper things being fed. And also, think about other things. Like, for instance, you are not somebody's garbage can. You are not somebody's dumpster. So don't let them put their garbage in you. So you need to start trimming down and editing your friends, your contacts. Many of those will be family, because many of your negative habits, think about it, you learned in your family. And I'm not saying disown your family. I'm saying arm's length, distance, because the negativity will kill you and keep you down. They're going to think you're crazy. They're going to think you're not loving. And you are. I'm not saying become a cold sociopath. But many times the conditions for abundance and growth and wealth have more to do with your environment and what the messages that you're constantly being fed. You realize if someone told you you're crazy out in the street or in the work world, oh, you're crazy with all your ideas, it means nothing to you, right? One person in your family who you love, mother, father, brother, someone says, oh, you're crazy. All of a sudden it gets taken to heart. And there's two people inside of you. There's the big adult you, and then there's a little kid. That little kid takes everything personally. So when someone says, oh yeah, we'll see, I'll believe it when I see it, and you get that from a family member, you know who is hearing that? Not the adult you, the little you. And the little you gets discouraged and disappointed. Eliminate that from your life. Like I said, don't be a cold sociopath. Love your family. I know as a parent, I have had to learn one thing, the one consistent message. When I'm gone, my kids are going to remember one thing. One thing. They're not going to remember dad saying, I told you so. You shouldn't have done it. You can't do that. The most frequent text that I send to my children is this: I love you and I believe in you. And that's empowering. And they're going to say, God, Dad always told us that he believed in us. Always. Never discouraged us. Never made fun of us. Never belittled me for my mistakes. Because a lot of times we have to get out there and make mistakes. Some mistakes can be 10 and 20 years long. A mistake isn't just one incident. You know, there's layers and layers and layers. If you plant a seed of corruption, the fruit that comes out is going to be horrible. If you marry the wrong woman, have babies with the wrong person, take the wrong major in college, move to the wrong city, all of those things can have an impact 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. And you might not have an aha or wake-up experience until you're 30, 40, 50, 60. For me, my wake-up experience happened in my 50s. Can you imagine living half a century making bad, wrong decisions? Imagine 50 years. Now, do I say those 50 years were a waste? No. I say it was a shame. I'm not one of those people that says, oh, it was a learning experience. I will learn. Well, if that's the case, well, then go out and keep making mistakes and keep learning. Right? Wrong. Start making the right choices and start experiencing the fruit and consequences of good choices instead of the fruit and consequences of folly. Look up the word folly, F-O-L-L-Y. Look that up. Get out a dictionary when you listen to me. And if you don't know what a certain word is, look it up. Folly, F-O-L-L-Y. I hope this helps and lights a little bit of a fire under you. And of course, it's never meant to be like a finger pointing or finger wagging, anything like that. I want it to be motivational. And I want you to start thinking about what are the proper conditions that will help you grow like the apple tree and produce more than you could ever imagine. You can do it. I know you can because I believe in you. Now go out there and do it.